Hello out there in the podverse. This is Convincing Idiots, and this is episode 210. This week, we are going to be discussing the very first episodes of SNL 50, the 50th season of Saturday Night Live. We're going to talk about what we've seen so far and what we think of it. We're also going to be discussing Joker 2. It has recently come out, and there are some interesting reviews, and we're going to discuss how we feel about those so far. And for our final segment, we're going to be discussing hair. That's right, iconic hair and all of pop culture. So stick with us, Convincing Idiots, SNL 50, Joker 2, hair, we got tub shrooms, that and so much more. That's right, I'm not going to hold you up anymore. Without further ado, let's start the show.
Enjoy your whatever that is.
All right. Test.
Call it again. Convincing Idiots.
Convincing Idiots.
Called it ham gravy.
I informed them that I sided with the stat man, not just anyone's opinion, the stat man Brian Fisher.
These kids today.
Jingle All the Way is in fact the best Christmas movie of all time.
I need to get Grandma a present, and my herpes is flaring up. I got it.
Yo, yo, yo. I'm the millennial
We're
Santa.
three friends representing three different generations. That's our whole shtick. That's our thing.
Nick got to hold poop.
I'm standing in the sea
Caucasian.
breeze, holding a turd, just mightily. I'm just going hitting hats.
Anyway, on a lighter note,
Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the vodcast. Welcome to the broadcast. Boys and girls, welcome to the show. This is Convincing Idiots. My name is Dean, the Zennial, and the polite one.
Brian Gen X.
And I am the impolite, spoiled brat, shitty millennial Nick.
That's right.
If this is your first time joining us, we are Convincing Idiots. Welcome. We are a weekly podcast of three friends representing three different generations. We get together here every week to discuss nerd and pop culture items of the day. So if you're not already part of the cool kids and one of the ones who is already following us on all our social media accounts, allow me to welcome you to the cool kid table at lunchtime. That's right. Simply go over to Google and type in Convincing Idiots Linktree. I almost said WordPress. That's coming. Linktree, Linkttree. And the reason you're going to go to the Linktree is because Linktree
Money
is a tree of links. They have links to all of our social media accounts, as well as our merch store and where you can listen to this podcast each and every week. All of that information, and if you can believe it, oh so much more, is available on our website. Now, here it comes. This is at convincingidiots.wordpress.com. So be sure to go over there and check out all the cool things we have there as well. Brian's worked very tirelessly on putting it all together, and Dean and I have listened to him complain about it. So please just go and check out the website and the Linktree. Yeah. So here we are. This is episode 2.
Work listening to him.
What's that?
I feel like I've done a lot of work just listening to him.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is episode 210 here of Convincing Idiots. And Brian, what's new in your neck of the woods there, fella?
Just continue to settle in the new house. Busy week at work.
Now, at your age,
That's
how
good.
hard is it to settle? Don't you just sit down and stay there? I mean, like, how much settling really is required?
You would think so. You would think so. It's a lot more. I mean, you have to make time for the dad noises.
Yeah.
You know, getting up and down, and that type of
Got the
thing.
creaks and cracks
you
and things going on there.
Yep.
Perfecting
So
the sound of when he gets out of here.
that's right. That's right. We did go out. Allie and I, a lovely girlfriend and I, went out last evening to Hi Ho Brewery in Cuyahoga Falls. So if you're in the Falls, Stowe, Monroe Falls area, go check them out. We got our last Summit County Brew Path stamp our book is completely filled, so didn't have to do that because of to attend the year-end event, but we've done that, so we will get that registered and have a nice outing in early January for the Brewpath celebration. I tell you what, they have some good beers over there. They really do.
They do.
They had it was a very good spiced pumpkin ale. And they have various German beers right now and everything. The food was decent. So, yeah, go check them out if you haven't stopped there lately. I did see some bad news, though. One of my favorite breweries in Akron, Acronym, has announced they're closing down, which is a shame.
Yeah,
I went for my birthday last year. So,
It's hard on these streets.
Yeah, too bad. It is, man. So, too bad for them. But that's about it, man. I'm trying to think what I even did last week. I don't even really remember. So it's just stuff around here and
with us, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I know that.
No, I know what I did. I went down to Wheeling, West Virginia, and saw a Kiss tribute band last Saturday. That's what I did.
Oh yeah,
With,
no,
yeah,
Black
it was Strutter.
That's
they
it.
were called.
Black Strutter, Mr. Black Strutter.
Yeah, maybe that exists. I don't know. No, but if you like Kiss, around here, there's a band, Mr. Speed, that's around this area more frequently. But they were very good. I tell you what, man, the most recent Kiss song was "I Love It Loud," Nick. Everything else was classic Kiss back. They sang like "Come On and Love Me" and
Nice.
"Hotter Than Hell." Good, solid Kiss songs that you only heard like on Kiss Alive.
Yeah.
Really live. So
Very cool.
Very, very good. And the guy that imitated Ace Frehley was just phenomenal. Great musician. He had mannerisms of Ace down, played like crazy. So kudos to Strutter out there.
Awesome.
So that's about it, guys.
I feel
Dean,
like I
what's
saw
new
Strutter
with you? Yeah, go ahead.
play at Rockin' on the River like years ago.
Maybe.
I'm pretty sure
Maybe.
I saw them there. Or it was either Rockin' on the River or Lock 3 when they first started the Lock 3 concerts. It's been quite a few years ago.
Very possible.
Yeah.
Very possible. Yeah. The Falls, Rockin' on the River at the time.
Yeah.
Cuyahoga
Yes.
Falls at the time. Yeah. Yeah, they're very, very good. Very, very good. So
Nice.
check them out if you can. Yeah. Sorry. Dean, what's new with you, sir?
Nothing. I'm watching Kansas City and New York benches clear. Bottom of the sixth. That's fun.
Cool.
Yeah, not really nothing. I haven't done really anything. I've been working. That's about it. Doing Dean things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it. And I do know.
Lower your
Nick,
mic there
this
just a touch.
just to touch here. I don't know if you noticed, but last weekend we didn't hang out with Brian. Weekend before, didn't hang out with Brian. And I think about it. When a certain person moves up in society, they don't want to go back to the pores that they
There's
left
certain people
behind.
that are left behind, and there's a reason for that.
That's right.
Mm.
There's a reason, and we are the pores that have been left behind.
Yes, that's right.
It's like he was raptured into the good life, and we're stuck here.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, he punched him. Dude, the Kansas City Royal guy slid into second, and while getting him out, the Yankees guy punched him in the jaw.
That's the next step for Brian, too,
Ooh.
because as they distance themselves from the pores, then they start to feel more comfortable with physically assaulting them. So that's the next thing that he's going to do to us.
Yep. He's going to take. He's going to be the Yankees.
Yep.
Brian's now the Yankees.
Yep.
The money's up here, society's up here, and they look down upon us, the small people. That's what's happening.
That's right.
We're Kansas City trying to slide into second and getting a jaw full of Brian fist.
Mm-hmm. Yep, me and a couple of the retirees in the area. They started a new Monroe Falls Watch podcast.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Just going to talk about this stuff going on the street.
Yeah.
Just called power walking.
And old Herb on the corner never mows his lawn on time like everybody else.
Never
It's a little
mows
too
it.
long.
That's right.
Yep.
Dan and Danielle had another party. Loud. I saw Crystal walking her dog, Bubblegum, who are real neighbor and a real dog's name. Bubblegum had Bubblegum was adopted, and she's still
For sure.
a little wild, yeah. Yep, me and Jerry across the street.
Yep.
We're going to start up.
Yeah.
Start
There
it
you
up.
go.
Mm-hmm.
Neighborhood Watch. The Neighborhood
Yep.
Watch podcast.
I like
And
it.
the only way you're going to be able to listen to this podcast is one of those old turntables that you have to crank,
Yeah.
and with the big megaphone sound system.
Yep. We're just gonna shoot it on the front porch and just shoot it live episodes, and just
Broadcast
judge
on
people.
AM radio.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to this. All right. Like I said, I ain't done shit. Nick, what do you?
We'll hang out soon. I miss you guys. We'll hang out soon for sure. Yeah.
All right.
Go
I'll
ahead,
mark it on my calendar.
Soon. It's coming. It's coming very soon. No, I've been good, guys. I had a pretty eventful weekend. So my oldest, Lane, turned 13 years old on Friday. So I officially have a teenager. And for the birthday,
Nice.
they wanted to have friends over and stuff like that. So we had some kids over from school and stuff. And Carter was over and stuff like that. We had a bonfire, had some pizza. So
Oh, yes, I did stop over at the end.
What's that?
I did stop over
Dean
at the
stopped
end.
over at the end. Yeah, we had a beer by the fire. It was nice, relaxing.
Yeah.
That was that's kind of I had very So after that party had happened and all the kids had gone, I had final night of that final beer of Christmas Eve vibes, where I was just like, big exhale. That's all done now,
Mhm.
and now I can
Yes.
just enjoy it. It's time to just hang out and relax. And after all the
But
kids,
I made sure that all the kids were gone before I showed
after all
up.
the kids had been picked up, it was just kind of like, okay, cool. I mean, granted, they all kind of did their own thing. I mean, they, for the most part, it's not like it was much of a problem, or anything like that. But they mostly just hung out together. We just made sure they weren't, being too loud or whatever. And we don't want to upset the elderly neighbors, like Brian's people up in Monroe Falls there. So, but no, it was.
They actually called and
Keep those goddamn kids quiet.
Yeah.
A birthday
It's 9
party
o'clock.
after 7:30? Are you kidding me?
It's actually, there's a button on the life alert that contacts the rest of them.
That's a nice low stress evening, Nick. A bunch of 12 and 13-year-old
Yeah,
boys.
no
That's a
problem
low
at all.
stress.
Yeah.
Everybody's calm.
Yeah, totally chill.
Quiet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, it was a good time. And then we hit up Cider Fest on Saturday in Norton. We always like to do that every year. This year we were quick in and out, though. It was like a lot of. I mean, there were some vendors selling things, but it was also a lot of political sign-up things, people trying to sell you windows and shingles and shit like that. And then, of course, they put all the stuff that you're there for, candy apples, kettle corn, apple cider, etc., in the back. So you have to pass through all the bullshit to get to it. Yeah. So, but no, it was cool. It was a nice time. We like to go every year, and it was really nice down there. And then we went to dinner with some family Saturday night for Lane's birthday to get together with the fam. And that's about it. And Sunday I got together with some buddies and golfed 18 holes of golf, which was a lot of fun. We had a fucking blast, but I haven't golfed. It has been almost, I would say, a week or two removed from 3 years to the day from the last time
it took about
golfed.
6 hours, right?
Yeah, something like that.
We had a tee time to play 18 holes.
We had a tee time at 10:45. So it was. I mean, yeah, it was. It probably was something like that. Yeah, it was.
Now, what kind of man are you, Nicholas?
What's that?
Are you? I said, what kind of man are you? Are you drinking at 10:45 in the morning?
Oh yeah. Well, so we got our stuff together. We got it. I think I golfed the first hole, so it was probably a little after 11 when I finally cracked the first beer.
Okay.
But yes.
All right.
So, yeah. I brought my smuggler with me. I was shocked that one of my friends didn't bring their own beer. They waited till we did the turn to go buy. I'm like, dude, I was like, I have beer. He's like, you got extras? I'm like, yes, dude. There's I come with no less than 10 in the cart to start. Why would you?
Right.
So, but yeah, it was it was a fun time. It's funny though, so not having golfed in 3 years, my first couple holes were fucking awesome. I was great. I was driving the ball well. My first few putts were amazing. I had some nice chip shots. And it kind of steadily declined as we went on. I don't know if that was a product of the drinking or not. I don't think so. In my past experience, it's not.
That's the game of golf.
In my past experience, it's not. Dean and I have golfed together many times, and I feel like, if anything, I start getting more confident as I drink and then, like, whatever. But this time was weird. It was kind of the opposite of that. But we had a really good time.
Sometimes you get in your own head.
Yeah.
Especially if you start out doing well, and then your first time you fuck up, then you start questioning, and then you try to correct yourself, and it's a whole thing.
My wicked right hook is still firmly intact, though. Nothing has
Sure.
nothing has affected that.
Well,
doesn't matter.
You're not going to change your swing. That's going to be there.
It doesn't matter how hard I aim to the left, it will hook even harder to the right. It's like insane. Turn the club in, the whole 9 yards, just fucking goes. But anyway, I digress. It was a lot of fun golfing. I'd actually like to get out one more time. At least I kind of got that itch again. I mean, I've always enjoyed golfing, but I'm not a serious golfer. I like to do it casually. And as you know, when I first met Dean, his famous line was, he asked if I golfed, and I was like, I've never been golfing, and so no. And he was like, okay. It's like, well, do you like to drink outside? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, then you like to golf, and that's how we first started golfing. And to this day, that is the mantra. It's just an activity while drinking outside. So I've always enjoyed it, but getting back out there again made me really want to get back out again more often.
We need to do that one more time.
Yep. So, but that was it. That was my weekend. So
that sounds fun.
Yeah.
All right. Very good. So, Dean, have you watched anything over the past week? You want to talk about an idiot review, sir?
Just the Guardians. No, I didn't actually. No, I did kind of watch not the most recent, but the last recent of Agatha all the way, or all the way,
all along.
That's a different. Yeah. I found that one on the internet too, Agatha all the way. That was something different. I like that a lot.
I do recommend that.
Yeah.
But I'm enjoying that. I don't know how well it's doing in the ratings or whatever, but there's been some people. There's always going to be people complaining.
Sure,
I'm enjoying it. I like characters. I like the kind of each place that they go to along the witch's road. They have to do a whole a test, right? So each episode is going to be one of these tests. So it's kind of like you get a different time period, or different, everybody walks into each house or whatever, and they're dressed different, and they're magically all in this same time or different time period. And I like it. It kind of gives a little, kind of what a lot of the WandaVision had, where each episode was a different time period in television. That's what this has a little bit, so I'm enjoying it.
I like that they follow that theme a little bit, like they've kind of carried that over into this.
Yeah, well, it's not broke, right?
Yeah,
might as well keep going with it. Find a way to do it. But yeah, other than that, I've been watching the Guardians. By the time you hear this, starting Monday, we are
happy or sad.
Yeah, we're either going to be playing the. Well, it looks like the Yankees, but
Brian's
this isn't even. But
notably,
you know that by Monday. Get it already. The ALCS will have already started by then, right?
Yep, that's right.
It'll start Sunday.
So good baseball, good playoff baseball out there.
Love playoff baseball.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Nick?
Nikolai.
I've been hockey season started since we last spoke, so that's where I've been at. And I've been spending a lot of my time watching. Leafs' first game was last night, and then they played again tonight. So we're 1-1 on the season so far. We're at even 500, but it's been a lot of fun. I'm very happy to have hockey back as well. And also, in addition to that, Amazon on Friday dropped their original behind the scenes on the NHL series called Face Off, which is from the people that made Drive to Survive and the golf one and all that stuff. Quarterback, same producer that did that for Netflix and stuff. So they, spotlight different NHL players and follow them, mostly through the playoffs is what they were filming them through. So There's a Leafs player, William Nylander, on there, and a couple big names throughout the NHL. So it's really cool. I love shows like that. I enjoy Drive to Survive, and I mean, Formula One's got such a huge popularity boost since that show came out. And so, like, for me, as someone completely having no interest in any type of racing or whatever, it has made me a little bit, I pay a little more attention to Formula One, or, if you're watching the golf one, now you kind of know who some of these golfers are. So a lot of different sports have seen bumps from these series, and it'd be nice to see the NHL do the same, especially they have a lot of, like, hockey's been one of those kind of button-up traditional sports for a long time, where it's all about the team, it's not about the player, and people are kind of discouraged from stepping out of the limelight. But I think it's good that we move into this era and people take more after, NBA and NFL players, to where, like, there's a lot of star
We
power.
are in the 21st
There's a lot of star
century.
power in this game. There's a lot of interesting people, and people want to see these players that they're drawn to. They want to see them in their element and see what kind of personalities they have. And so far, it's been a lot of fun to watch. So I think it's a 6-part series, 6 episodes. Through the first 4, but each episode kind of specifically gravitates around 2 to 3 players per episode. So I would highly recommend it. Even, like I said, I'm obviously biased because I am such a huge hockey fan, but like I said, as someone who's watched some of the other sport ones, it's done in that regard. So if you were a fan of Drive to Survive and not necessarily Formula One, and you enjoyed that show, I would certainly recommend Face Off on Amazon Prime, the Inside the NHL. That's about it. Yeah, I've been busy playing with the party and stuff, so I made a point to watch the hockey show when it started, and now that the games are on, that's what has been eating up a lot of my time. So, Brian, what about you? What are you seeing?
Excellent. You know what? I did forget to ask you guys before I do that. What are you enjoying this evening? I meant to ask that before
Your
idiot
face.
reviews. Thank you.
Mhm.
The secret upskirt shot I got of Dean last weekend.
Hey now. I'm finished off the Atomic Pumpkin from last week, and then I have Sam Adams. I'm gonna open up here shortly.
Nice.
Very good.
I am partaking in the Elysian Dark of the Moon Pumpkin Stout tonight.
Nice.
Good shit.
I have a Great Lakes Oktoberfest. Great Lakes Brewery in
Wunderbar.
Cleveland.
Wunderbar.
Very good. That's one of the better Oktoberfests around. That's for sure.
Yeah, they're one of my favorites. Yeah, and Hofbrau, like the Hof. I don't know if it also could be like in the atmosphere of it, but every time we go to the German club, we always have the Warsteiner and the Hofbrau. But I like the Hofbrau Oktoberfest. It's so good. But yeah, Great Lakes does it right too.
Absolutely. As far as what I watched quickly, the Walking Dead series. It's like they've different now offshoots. The original series did end. There's a book of Daryl Dixon. So season 2 is now on AMC or AMC Plus. You can find that out there streaming. So Daryl from The Walking Dead has traveled to Paris, and it's a whole interesting storyline there. They brought back Carol, from a very popular character from the Walking Dead series. So she's trying to find Daryl in season 2.
Carol and Daryl.
Very good. That's right. Interesting horror.
Daryl is my sister Carol.
That's right. That's it. Something like that. On Shudder, which is also on AMC Plus. I think you could find it maybe elsewhere too. But there's a series of VHS different horror movies, I guess they are. So this one I watched VHS 1985. It was interesting in it. The whole thing looked like you took an old VHS tape and popped it in the VCR. And they even blend in, like, the lines and play and some actual 80s commercials and things. But it was like 5 different horror stories played out through this videotape.
Shudder?
I found it on Shudder. And Shudder is
That's
also
a free
on
app,
AMC
isn't it?
Plus. But I think you could find it for free as well.
Yeah.
I think you're right. But they have different storylines, VHS story, like VHS. There's another era. There's another one. There's a couple other ones of those out there. But it was interesting. This Twilight Zone horror-ish type of thing. Sure. So, but it was cool. I am enjoying the heck out of the Penguin series on
I do want to watch
Max.
that. Yeah.
Very, very good. It has, nothing to do with Batman. It's in the Batman universe. It takes place immediately after the last, the Batman movie. It's the Colin Farrell version of Penguin, and just, we commented in the Batman movie how awesome the makeup is of Colin Farrell dressed, as the Penguin, and just his acting and everything. Just a very, very intriguing character. It's like a whole gangster type thing. That's what it is. So it's the story of the Penguin trying to rise up in the crime syndicate, and how he's kind of playing two families off one another and that type of thing. But that's it. If you're looking for, Batman and all that type of stuff, that's what we want to see the Penguin. Nope, that's not for you. But if you just like that type of storyline anyway, or you just enjoy the Penguin character, or frankly, if you just like Colin Farrell's acting, definitely highly recommended. Check out the Penguin on Max. And I watched on Max as well the new Salem's Lot movie. So this is the Stephen King vampire movie. They had a TV adaptation in the late 70s with it was either Starsky or Hutch, the blonde guy that played Starsky or Hutch or something. David Soul was in this, but that was creepy in the late 70s. This very, very good. It takes, I understand it. I didn't read the book, but it's a more accurate depiction of the book. Stephen King was a producer of this thing here. Very good. Very, very good. I think it's Bill Pullman's son, if I'm not mistaken, is one of the main actors here, and you could tell he definitely looks like his dad.
Nice.
If you like that creepy vampire type, and this vampire looks like the Nosferatu type vampire, the really creepy, long teeth and everything. Yeah, very ghoulish. Very good. So check that out this Halloween season. Another highly recommended movie. A lot of fun. That's it.
Nice.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to take a drink. We're going to celebrate the Guardians' victory on Thursday evening. Maybe we won't be as happy on Monday when this drops.
Nope, screw it.
I was going to say, will it to happen? Ye of little faith.
We're celebrating Saturday's victory.
When you hear this Monday, you'll be celebrating that they won.
You will.
And we're celebrating the first win of the ALCS Sunday.
That's right. That's exactly right. Against the Yankees.
Looks like
and
it.
Cleveland's going to sweep them and send a lot of angry New York people home. There you go.
That's right.
All right. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back with some pop culture headlines and our Ask an Idiot segment of the week, and we'll bring that to you right after this. Gen X Brian here from the Convincing Idiots podcast. If you're enjoying our show, tell a friend. And if you're not, well, tell two enemies. Three. All right, welcome back to Convincing Idiots, segment 2, episode 210.
Yep.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
It is unbelievable that none of us have anything better to do on a Thursday than this for 4 years. It's crazy.
4 years.
Yeah.
It's a good stretch.
Yeah. Definitely a good stretch. A good stretch of, if this is entertaining or not.
Yeah, that's
well.
a huge stretch.
Huge stretch.
Yeah. One thing I did find entertaining was Saturday Night Live last weekend. I don't know if you gentlemen watched that with Nick Bargatze as the host.
Yeah,
he's very good.
He is. I like
very
that they
good straight
redid
man.
the sketch with the the early colonial guys, like founding America and stuff like that. They did that again. Yeah, that's a good one. I like that they touched on that one again.
Another skit that was very popular was the Sábado Gigante skit. So that was like a Latino odd game show. I don't know if you saw that, or like a variety, like a game show,
Yeah,
right?
there's all kinds of random things, and he doesn't speak. He won tickets, and he doesn't speak Spanish. And he has no idea what's
Yes.
going on.
He
That was
played.
good. Yeah,
Nick Bargatze played a guy named Joshua. Just won. He just had free tickets in Miami or something like
yeah,
that. And Marcelo Hernandez, I like him on
yeah. He's
as a
very
regular cast member. But the whole skit was practically in Spanish, right? And it was just this whole odd, game show thing going on around him. I did not know this, but that is based on an actual show.
good. Oh, really?
So Latinos across
Yeah,
the
all
U.S.
of them.
Yeah,
All the game shows.
yeah. So the actual show set a Guinness World Record for the longest running show hosted by the same host. It ran for 53 years on
The same
Univision.
host.
Well, actually, I'm sorry, take that back. It ran for 53 years, and it was a hit on Univision when the network began carrying it in 1986, and it stopped running in 2015. So it remains a staple in the memories of many Latino families. So the actual host, Don Francisco, who Marcelo Hernandez portrayed, he even commented on social media that basically appreciated the homage and everything. And a lot of Latinos who watched that show, commented how it was a very nice depiction of even the guy playing the trumpet, that came out, that was the trumpet jackal portrayal. It was an actual guy that used to be on the show that would blare a trumpet at people who were singing. If he didn't like the way they sang, he would come out as the trumpet. The trumpet jackal.
That's even funnier that it's a real thing, because
I know
that was what made the sketch so funny, is that it, if you've ever watched some of that stuff on Univision, and as a non-Spanish speaking viewer, you're very lost with the dialogue, and also you don't know, you're so disoriented by the language barrier that you don't know if it's as random as it appears to be, but certainly the fact that you can't understand it makes it seem incredibly random, and you don't know what's happening. So that was, I did enjoy that sketch. That was very good. I was gonna say also can we just stop and just take a moment and say how fucking brilliant Dana Carvey is in these last couple weeks as Joe Biden. Holy fucking shit, he is hilarious. Like, so good. Hey, guess what? And another thing, and he just keeps he's so good. Because he doesn't, Dana Carvey, and I think I don't know how long ago. It's been a while, but I was talking to you guys about how I was watching on Peacock, the Saturday Night Live channel, and I'm watching all these old sketches of Dana Carvey portraying George Bush Senior, and watching how good his portrayal of him is, and it's and that's coming from somebody who yes, was alive when he was president, but was not aware of his mannerisms or his whatever. But watching it back now, it's God, he's so brilliantly done. And now as Joe Biden, it's so good. Just the way it's not necessarily that his, the way, for example, I can't think of his first name, something Austin Johnson, the guy that plays Trump, is spot on. He sounds like him. The mannerisms, everything he says and does, it's my favorite thing they do. But he sounds a lot like him. Dana Carvey doesn't necessarily, the voice is not there, but the cadence in which he says things and the types of things he says are so good. He's far and away the best Joe Biden impersonation I've seen on there yet. So, but I've enjoyed that they've brought him out for the cameos of Joe Biden so far in the 2 episodes of this season.
That's been good. Then certainly Maya Rudolph as Kamala Harris.
Mm-hmm.
And who's the comedian that's doing Waltz?
Oh, Jim Gaffigan. Yeah, Jim Gaffigan's also been great. He's been fucking great. Yeah, he's spot on.
Watch at least these skits. I love the political skits.
Yeah, the cold opens. I mean, that's really, if that's all you're looking for, it's always the first sketch right off the top before the credits. I mean, it's the very first thing you see. But yeah, they've been doing really good with those.
Yeah, so far, I mean, there's always a few clunker skits and all that, but so far, so good for me on the first couple episodes of the season. You know, so
I think his name's Mike. Dean, you need to see, like, you need to go back from like at least the last season, watch the cold opens with, I think his name is Michael Austin Johnson or something. The guy that does Trump on SNL.
Okay.
Fucking fabulous. They're so good.
The one when he sold the Bible is one of the funniest things. That was around Easter time.
Yeah.
You could see that one there.
That was I love when he does the word associations where it's like a pardon the interruption, and they go through the and he strings them together, and it's so random, and like, but he finds a way to get there. Oh God, it's awesome. Yeah,
So
you do yourself a favor.
One of my favorite books, Bible. You know,
we have Bible, everyone's favorite book. Yeah, he's great.
You know, it really heats up, and whatever, he just makes up whatever chapter, whatever. You know, Big Bang Boom. You know, it's so good.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're enjoying SNL. That's a success for us. One thing that has not been much of a success, I don't know if it's surprising or not, Joker 2, gentlemen. So it is still in the theater. It's not something I have found that I'm very excited to see. I know that it is doing poorly, yes, for sure. So when they said it was going to be kind of a musical, even with that, ever since I heard that, I'm like, I just don't.
Threw me off a little bit.
Yeah, I don't quite understand it.
Didn't make me want. I wasn't looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean, Joaquin, he's fantastic. Certainly the first Joker was
amazing.
Yeah, was great. Very scary and eerie, and it was a huge hit. Certainly at the box office, it won like 11 awards. He won Best Actor for playing the Joker, which was, that was a feat in itself. Certainly Lady Gaga is a great. I mean, she's not great, but she's a solid actress for sure.
Solid actress.
Certainly
very talented,
a great, very musically talented.
You can never go wrong with the Lady Gaga.
Yeah. So the first one, let's see, made over $1 billion. The first Joker in 2019. Yeah. Oh yeah. It was the highest grossing rated R movie ever until Wolverine and Deadpool knocked it off. Right. So
that's a lot of money.
That's a
lot of money.
Billion with a B.
Billion with a B. I ain't seen that sort of money since I saved that much money with Blake Insurance.
Yo!
Because Blake Insurance, I tell you, is an Erie insurance agency located right here in Barberton, Ohio. They provide.
Stop screaming at me.
Oh, no. What's that?
Lower your mic. Stop screaming at me.
I'm sorry, but I can't help it. I get excited over savings. And this Blake Insurance, it's saving you a lot of money. It's saving me a lot of money. Mm-hmm. It's located right here in Barberton, Ohio. They provide auto, home, renters, and business insurance with honesty, decency, and affordability. Erie Insurance is above all else in service. You want to call 234-571-5359 or go ahead and get on your computer machine and type in BlakeInsuranceLLC.com for your free. Whoa. Did I say it right? I said it right. I read it right. Free 5-minute quote today. And when you do, tell them that those idiots on your phone or wherever you're listening to them sent you.
Yes.
I don't know why the accent, but
I was wondering. I was getting ready to ask where the voice came from. It was almost like if Dusty Rhodes had a black cousin in the South or something.
Okay.
It was like it's very. It was in that vein.
Yeah. It just happened.
I did not like it. I just wondered where it came from. That's all.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah, I respect it. I liked it.
Yeah. So $1 billion, eh?
That was the first one. So that's right.
So on the road. Come on.
A Billy.
The second one started out well, so I guess it opened. That's the number one film in October at $37.8 million, which is the highest. Let's see. So the original Joker opened at the highest ever at $96.2 million in October when the first one debuted in 2019. This one opened, although it was number one at the time, at 37.8. Right. So It is now, if you look at a list of sequels, when they opened the sequel compared to the first movie, the percentage reduction for the sequel, it's amongst the highest ever. So between the first Joker movie and this one, that is over a negative, it's about a 61% decrease in the sequel compared to the original. It has a very poor rating on, let's see, Rotten Tomatoes. It is at 33%. And the audience score is actually lower than that at 31%. So,
yikes.
Just not going well. You could find a lot of reviews out there. I mean, some people find it interesting and, and everything else, but I guess it has a good 12 songs in it, and I don't know, man.
12? Like it's an actual
It's
fucking
I was like, I get there being like musical tones to it, and like maybe there's a couple numbers.
Yeah, maybe one or two. Two at the most.
Didn't think it was going to be full West Side Story, but
put Lady Gaga with a microphone once and call it a day. But I didn't think they were doing a whole fucking musical movie.
Yeah.
Fine. No wonder I ain't watching that.
You don't see any of that in the previews either. It's like unless you read it, you're going to be surprised by that if you're not paying attention. So go ahead, Nick. What are you going to say?
I was going to say I'm very interested from the standpoint of just to see what this is about. Like Dean said, I loved the first one. I didn't know how I was going to feel because just, Heath Ledger did such an iconic job at the Joker, and I love Joaquin Phoenix. He's literally one of my favorite actors, period. I just think he's brilliant. But I was a little apprehensive when the first one came out. But like after I saw it, I was like, holy shit, like he did an incredible job. And I was so when I heard they were making a second Joker film, I was very excited about it, and like I was ready, really just excited at the seeing what it was going to be about. And then when I heard it was going to be a musical, it kind of threw me off. Now I'm not a fundamental, actually, such as our friend at our friend at Blake Insurance, Aaron Blake is a huge Joker fan, loves the character, like it's one of his favorite characters and stuff. And so I'm not that like with the Joker. I'm not like this fundamentally a big fan of the character, but certainly the portrayals of him in film over the years have been fantastic, and I love Joaquin Phoenix. But it does throw me off that it's a musical, and now I'm just, the more things that I hear about it is like it in a way it makes me want to see it that like more than I originally wanted to. I'm probably not going to go give it money in the box. Like I'm not going to go to the theater and see it, but as soon as it's streaming, I'm going to watch it. I definitely, if nothing else, for the curiosity factor of to see like.
If I can pull it up at home, I'll watch it.
Yeah, just to see.
It'll be on Max probably sooner than later, I would imagine.
Probably by the time you hear this.
Yeah, it could be.
If that Rotten Tomatoes score keeps going down, it might be there by Monday.
So is this going to be sort of, I mean, I guess in one hand, you could say, okay, it's cool that you took a chance. You just basically said, the hell with the success of the first one. We're going to do something completely different here and unique. Is this sort of a lesson to you can't take a popular comic character like this, that especially is one of the most popular that exists, and go too far off the storyline. So is this something that, I mean, should they continue to try to do something creative like this, or is this going to be a lesson in, if you go way too far off and you get too wacky with something here, people just aren't interested and you're going to take a loss on this one? So what do you guys think? Go ahead, Nick.
I think you can do it. I have not seen this film yet, but I think you can do it.
There's caveats.
I think, I think the hype around it was there, and I don't think the fact that it was a musical or whatever was necessarily initially driving people away. But from the way I understand it, after it has been released, after people have seen it, it sounds like people are just saying, this isn't a great movie.
Yeah.
So I don't know that that's the lesson to take away from that is that like it can't be done. I think there's a way to do it. They maybe just haven't found it here. I don't know. Like I said, it's kind of weird to give a review of a movie you haven't seen like that or pass judgment on it.
Mhm.
I will be curious to see it and then revisit this after we've watched it and see what we thought. Oh, here's what they were going for. In this way, it was okay. In this way, it went too far. I don't know. But I think it's possible, and I think we've seen that in just basically everything. You take Marvel, you can take Star Wars. Like, not all of it's been successful, but
Mhm.
there's an audience for many different versions and variations and outlets and side, storylines and things like that. I think there's a way you can do it.
There's always going to be an
Um,
audience for side chicks.
Sure. Well, yeah, sure. But I mean, like, take The Mandalorian, for example. That's been very successful. We all love it. It's been good. But at face value, it's a weird thing to pass off, as a storyline. This father-son dynamic with a childlike Yoda, but with a Mandalorian who looks like Boba Fett but is not, and like it's, you know what I mean. But like the writing was good and it was done well enough, and they plug in other characters. I get that's a little apples to oranges because these are not those same beloved characters and putting them in a different situation like the Joker. But I don't know. I think there's a way to do things. I think there's a way to pull those type of things off. I think in this case, from like I said, what it sounds like is just maybe they missed the mark on this one. But I don't know. To be continued. I will be happy to give further thoughts after I've seen it. But
Okay.
what say you guys?
Dean, what do you think?
Well, Nick's wrong.
Sure.
In general life, but he's kind of right here. Honestly, what it comes down to is I think, again, like
You
Nick said,
drive me to
haven't
drink.
seen it.
Yeah.
Well, you're welcome. If you're going to take a big swing like this with like the musical thing, two things need to happen. One, you could do it, but don't do it with the sequel of a gritty movie that everybody liked.
Right. That's what I'm thinking. Yes,
Yeah.
If you're
that's
gonna
right.
just go, I'm going to do a Joker and Harley Quinn movie, make it a musical, make it, this fantastical, weird situation. That's fine. And also, you need to tell people.
Yes, right.
These Rotten Tomato reviews, I guarantee you, are people walking in going, I was expecting the sequel to the fucking movie I loved.
Exactly. That's
years
exactly right. Yeah, I agree with that.
But if you told them, hey, let's go watch this weird Harley Quinn Joker musical situation, they go, okay, now you know what you're going down to sit in front of and watch,
Mhm.
right? I can tell everybody that Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey movie, it's so absurd and so cheesy. If you were turning it on going, all right, let's watch this really intense, cool, actual film, you're going to go, this is bullshit. I'm turning it off like 15 minutes in. But if you sit down going, all right, I'm going to have fun with this guy, this big ogre guy with a Winnie the Pooh mask and killing people, it's going to be absurd kills and all that, you're going to enjoy it. You know what I mean?
Right.
You need to know what you're walking into.
Because it's self-aware and it lets you know that, like, you know what I mean, like it's going
right.
in.
But if you didn't know that and you sat down, if you're walking in expecting the Joker and you got this, you're like, what is this bullshit? I was expecting the next chapter of this awesome movie. Instead, you got this again. Maybe if you sit down and watch it not thinking of the Joker, you'll go, okay, I get the artistic thing that they're doing with the music and the love story and this weird whole dynamic between the two. If you go in looking for that, maybe your expectations won't be as high, or maybe you're going to want to, you're going to enjoy it more, right?
Yeah.
Could be. I don't know.
So I wonder after this, sorry, I don't mean it, but like after having this conversation, after we've kind of got the idea of what it is, how we'll feel when we finally see it. Sorry, Brian, go ahead.
No, it's okay. I think you're right, Dan. I think that the promotion of this was a disservice to what they were trying to do, right? So somebody must have thought,
Let's
know, well,
trick him
gee,
into getting into the theater.
well, yeah. I mean, if you
got your
show
money,
them,
too late.
yeah, if you show them singing, that's not maybe appealing for people. I don't recall seeing one trailer. Maybe there is, but I don't recall seeing any main trailer that had any
No,
I do.
hint of singing. Do
Well,
you?
there's the one where they're on stage and they're like they seem to be dancing and performing a
Oh,
number
you see
together.
that, you could think, oh, that's a dream sequence.
Sure.
Yeah. But
It's not.
It's
No,
like
it's certainly
a
not.
situation.
It's certainly not enough to be like, oh, this is a musical. Like it's enough
Yeah.
to lead you down that path. Yeah.
It could very well be a good movie. It's
Sure.
just when you're expecting The Godfather and you get Freddy Got Fingered, you're going to be
Yeah.
disappointed.
yeah, like you said, just a strange decision to come off such a huge.
Yeah.
You had again one of the highest grossing rated R movies of
Yeah.
all time. You have the same director, the same actor coming back. Let's try to maybe continue the storyline more. Along the same, like you said, along the same storyline. It's just really baffling. Now
It's
Did
like
you-
James
I can't-
Cameron being like, I know like the Terminator went well, so
Yeah.
I've got the script for T2 Judgment Day, and I thought we're gonna make it a cartoon.
Right.
It's
Like,
right.
why?
Exactly.
All right. Get this. You ready? Jaws 2, cabaret style.
Yeah, right. Mhm.
The shark's gonna be in a sequin gown, and he's gonna gobble up the audience.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. He comes up, he eats a disco ball. See?
Dun, 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 dun. Just shooting beams out of his eyes and his shark butt. Like I think you've lost the feel of the first movie slightly.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right. Well, we'll make it a
From
point. Go ahead.
What
please.
I understand, it definitely has its dark spots. Like from what I hear,
Yeah.
like it's a borderline like too disturbing for people. They're like it went too far. Apparently, there's a couple rape scenes of the Joker in prison and things like that. I don't know, but
Oh, jeez.
somebody made it sound like there's more than one. So I don't know.
An odd musical number. Needless to say. Yeah.
This is rape in a cell.
The soundtrack was recorded behind the door of a Diddy party.
Uh-huh. Yep. Yep.
But look at it this way, guys. It's not all lost. They can still save this, right? And think of it as Star Wars. You went Star Wars, then you did the fucking holiday special,
Yeah.
and everybody shits on it. It's honestly the same kind of thing. You were expecting this, you got this, but then you were able to come back and get back on track. So if Todd Phillips or anybody wanted to continue and do a non-musical Joker third one, it could work. It has worked in the past.
Sure.
We'll see. We'll see if the DC executives agree with that
They're not going to.
decision. Yeah, we'll see.
DC's track record's not great, so
No,
I made a second Aquaman. I don't trust their judgment.
Yeah. Anyway. All right. Well, we want to hear your opinion if you saw the Joker. Then, we'll make it a point when we're able to see it on streaming. Let's the three of us watch it, and we'll come back and revisit, like you said, in the future when we all have a chance to check it out. So, okay. Well, the Joker, I guess, if anything at all, he does have some interesting hair.
He does.
If anything else here. So we're going to take a break and come back with our main segment this evening. Hair related, ladies and gentlemen. And we'll bring that to you.
Musical hair.
Not the musical hair. See, that was a good
segue.
You gotta let everybody know.
Dueling segues. Yeah.
That's right. And we may or may not do it in the nude. Yeah, just like the musical hair.
That's the only way I know how to do it, baby.
Yep.
No, you leave your socks on. I mean, I've heard.
I just like to pull it through the flap.
What, your pinky toes?
How'd you know your sister's nickname for it? Pinky toe.
I read her
Give
diary.
Give me that pinky toe.
All right,
Just
we're gonna bring you.
like to see what a fucking chicken dick looks like.
All right.
Take it to
Brian,
break.
all right, Brian.
Yeah,
cut
this
us
is
off.
this is the production. This is how it was going for Joker 2, I think, somewhere. Yeah,
That's
in
right.
the middle of it. Yeah.
Took a
You can
look.
run away from the studio, but the content of the podcast stays the
Nope.
same, my friend.
Mhm.
That's right.
Doesn't matter where you go.
That's
I'll
right.
bring the shit show to you every time.
That's right. That's right. And we're going to sing the third the segment as well, perhaps.
That's right.
I think. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. All right, we'll be back after the break.
Mm-hmm.
4, 3.
Well, hello there, and we're back for segment number 3 of Convincing Idiots. I'm Millennial Nick, alongside Gen X Brian and Zennial Dean. This week, in our third and final topic for the evening, we're going to be discussing something that really only one of us on this podcast even possess, and that is illustrious hairdos. So we're going to
Fucking
discuss.
irony that we're all wearing hats.
I know. Oddly enough, the oldest of us has the best hair, which is very odd.
Right.
But that is the situation we were in. But we're going to discuss some of our favorite hair of pop culture, just in general. Now, are we sticking to characters? Are these character specific?
Characters with the best hair.
Characters with the best hair. All right, good, because that's what I have written down. So characters with the best
You did
hair
right.
in pop culture. So best hair goes first. Brian, you start.
A character with what's that?
What's that?
Head and chin.
That's
They're
right.
the best head and chin hairs.
That's right.
That's right. Yep. And
And
again, the
ass.
chest hair, everything. It's a chest hair.
Everything.
Everything is same as the beard. Exact
Best
same
hair
color.
goes first.
Mhm. Yep.
It's just
Nothing
braided.
gets out of this Venus flytrap. I'll take this one.
Shit looks like a sarlacc coming out, fucking grabbing shit, pulling it in.
That's right. Some of the most one of the most unique hairstyles in the 80s. Great look on this man and this character. I'm going with Clubber Lang from Rocky 3, Mr. T, gentlemen. So Mr. T,
Beautiful.
yeah,
Okay.
certainly the mohawk was his just his personal style, but it looked great and very menacing on that character. You can also say, Barack was it A-Team? Was it Barack
Obama?
TJ? No.
Oh.
Anyway.
Beautiful. Who messes with my mama?
Very good. That's excellent. I like that.
Ain't
Anyway.
got no time for jibber jabber.
The jibber jabber out here around here is not going to fly.
Brilliant. There you go. Clubber Lang. Mr. T.
I like
Very
it.
good. Very good.
Yeah.
Dean, you're up.
All right. I really thought whoever was going to go first was going to go with this pick. It is the only pick to be at the top of this list. It is the Fonz.
Yes.
Henry Winkler as the Fonz from Happy Days. I mean, just with the perfect. I mean, it started. I mean, it lasted through the early '70s, the late '70s, '80s.
Mm-hmm.
And it did lose its whatever product he had in his hair, doop-de-doop or whatever it might be. It had the 1950s quaff and curl and bouffant almost. And then in the 70s, as the show progressed, it did get a little more 70ish, right? You know, little lighter, a little feathier. But I'm talking about like original Fonz. That amazing where you go to put the comb in, it's too good. Don't need it. Don't need it.
Yeah.
So the Fonz is number one on my list.
Very good. Very good.
That was great. Awesome.
Now, I don't have either one of yours, although both of yours are iconic. But in that same vein, I thought for sure this would be everyone's first pick. And in my opinion, the most iconic hair in all of pop culture is Princess Leia. Leia's the buns. I mean, it is universally known. Even if you don't know who Princess Leia is in Star Wars, you know that hairstyle represents almost as iconic as the Darth Vader mask itself. I would say the Darth Vader helmet or mask and Princess Leia's hair are the two singular most iconic touchstones of Star Wars. So Princess Leia is the first one on my list.
Great. Cinnamon buns or cinnamon rolls without at least putting them close to the sides of your head.
Sure, yeah, right.
Like Princess Leia.
Yeah. Yep.
That is an icon, my friend.
Absolutely.
She creeps into our breakfast.
Yep.
That's a great one. Mr. T did have a cereal. I digress.
He did. Yes,
true.
Mr. T, a little tease. Remember that? Yep. And an animated show, the whole bit.
That's right.
Yeah. Now you could say this actor, almost any character this actor plays, you could say it could make an argument to be on the list of some of the most iconic hair. It's several, but I'm going to go with Snake Plissken, played by the great Kurt Russell from Escape from New York and Escape from LA, but Escape from New York, the first one. So Snake Plissken, it's younger Kurt Russell with just the feathery, darker hair at the time. Of course, he's got the eye patch and he has the stubble. Just a great look, fun movie, very gritty character. And again, it's Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
I mean, if I typed in right now 1980s cool, that picture might come up. I don't know.
Yeah, it's going to be up there.
No fucking doubt.
Yep.
All right. My next pick isn't exactly what you'd call, an 80s icon, but to me, he was. Because when I think iconic hair, I think no hair. I think Bull Shannon from Night Court. Fuck you both. Bull Shannon, Richard Mole was an icon to me. And
Brian, for the official ruling, does it count?
No hair does count. That is a hairstyle. Right?
Okay.
No hair is a hairstyle.
No hair is a hairstyle.
And because he didn't
I don't know
lose
that I would pick. I don't know that I would pick the shaved head of Richard Mole. But anyway, yeah.
It was a choice, so it was a hairstyle.
Yes.
And Richard Mole, I mean, come on. Not only just the
So of bald guys, you chose your bald guy choice as Night Court guy over like Stonehead Steve Austin. Like bald guy is guy from Night Court.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just wanted to. All right.
I don't want to know. That's my list. Write your own list, mother.
Yeah. It is not the best bald hairstyle ever, but that's okay. Yeah, it was iconic on the show. I agree with you there. Yeah. Okay.
The slapping of the head. Come on, man. Bull Shannon was awesome. You guys are jealous. Let's move on.
All right.
All right. My next iconic hairstyle is one that has been a recent love of mine as I have been discovering Seinfeld. Kramer. Kramer's hairstyle is iconic. And the reason
it's part of the character. That's true.
I was going to say the reason Kramer's hair is so amazing, not only is it unique to the character, but it is an extension of his character. It's a prop, if you will, to his character, to his insanity. It's almost like it's his zany insanity, like creeping out of his physical body into his hair. Like
Yeah.
it's an accessory for the physical comedy that he portrays, and I'm a big fan. And there again, I feel like you could see a caricature or an outline of a character of a man's head with that hairstyle on top, and you would simply know, you would identify it with Kramer from Seinfeld. So Kramer is next on my list. He plays off of it so well, and the hairstyle itself is almost part of the comedy. So Kramer, certainly. So
That's
Brian,
a great one.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, yeah. When you see the pilot episode, Nick, you go back and watch the first pilot. Michael Richardson has just still got the normal hair for him. It's Kramer, but you're right. When he came out with the hairstyle and the look and everything he had going on,
he's just always so disheveled and frantic, and like his hair is an extension of that kind of. It matches his persona so well.
Yeah,
and even like when he dressed up, what was for Kramer dressed up, and you know what I mean? Like it still even worked. Like he didn't change his hair, but like it worked with like being dressed up or dressed down, or like you said, looking like shit. Like it just worked in everything he did. It worked perfectly.
Yeah.
Very good. All right. Well, I'm going back to so if a actor or actress in a television role inspired people to get their hair cut like them, that's a whole other level. When you inspire a whole style, right? So there's certainly different characters that could say that. Now, I'm not going to one you might think I'm going to that's more recent. I'm going back to the 70s.
Okay.
The character name, Jill Monroe. Now, you may not recognize the name, but from the show Charlie's Angels, played by the beautiful Farrah Fawcett.
Yeah.
Right. So her hairstyle certainly was one of the most famous hairstyles in the 70s into the 80s. Certainly on her anything looked good on. I mean, Farrah Fawcett could have came out with a fucking mohawk and still looked great, but that hairstyle, just that 70s classic long hair, whisked back,
feathered on the side there.
Yes,
she was one of the original women men wanted her, women wanted to be her.
Yeah.
100%.
Farrah Fawcett hair is just a thing that everyone recognizes. Like that's all you gotta say. It's quite literally it's that iconic.
That's right. Yeah, guarantee there are plenty of young ladies that poster
everyone knows. Yep.
Very good.
Yep. There you have it. And for some reason, the young Brian, Gen X Brian, in 5th or 6th grade, my mother allowed me to have an iron-on shirt of that poster. She ironed it on a T-shirt for me at the time, and allowed me to wear it to school. There you have it. I'm sure I was quite the hit with the teachers. It never said a word to me. But I thought that was one of the coolest things ever as a little kid, was the Farrah Fawcett shirt at the time. Anyway, there you go.
Well, I can never be that cool, but you know
I
who
can
could
because Dean bought me a Hillary Duff shirt like that, and I wear it.
Sure. That's true.
Of course, as you should.
And again, for both of you, I can't be that cool, but somebody who can be and is much cooler than anybody almost on the fucking planet. I can't go a character, right? I'm just going to go a person who, in the 70s, her hair was her in all these different characters she did. Pam Grier.
Oh yeah.
The afro on Pam Grier in any 70s movie, he was tough, he was rough, he was sexy, and that hair just gave that extra thing for both sides, for the tough and sexy.
Yeah, like Jackie Brown, right? Was she Jackie Brown? Yeah.
Later in life, but kind of still had the same deal. But it was, much bigger and just beautiful and just like same as her, just sexy and hot and scary and tough. Man, Pam Grier was and is an icon.
Sure,
I love Pam Grier. So Pam Grier is next on my list.
Very good. My next one is a bit of a cheat. It's a 3-for-1. As I have mentioned, big hockey fan.
Three Stooges?
And similar. From the movie Slapshot, the Hanson brothers.
Sure.
The Hanson brothers kind
Ah,
of
yeah.
created what today is known as hockey hair. It is the lettuce under the bucket. It is the mullet, like
Mhm.
the hockey mullet. And all three of the Hanson brothers had different variations of this. But I think in the overarching manner, they all embodied some variation of hockey hair, and it kind of, I don't know if that was the standard setting or just, but it's become a thing. There's a tournament in Minnesota called Miniflota, where as they skate up, it's all the hockey hair, and they style their hair in these over the top insane mullets and things like that, and it's all kind of built off of the building blocks, the foundation of the Hanson brothers from the old Slapshot movie, and seeing them skate around with the hair flowing and stuff. And back in the day, guys used to take, warm ups without helmets on and stuff, and let the hair flow. But I feel like hockey hair is really at a roots level. We have the Hanson brothers from Slapshot to thank for that. So I would put the Hanson brothers on my list.
That's good.
Good one.
I like that.
Brian?
Okay. Again, this actor, you could say his hair is in several characters just from the actor's hair. But I'm going to go with the dude from the Big Lebowski,
yeah, sure,
Jeff
sure.
Bridges. Jeff
Yep.
Bridges has still to this day has some of the best hair in
For sure.
Hollywood,
fucking
in my
amazing, isn't it?
opinion. It
Like
really
now
is.
it's like complete like salt and pepper, mainly salt.
I'm
Looks
jealous.
fucking awesome.
Yeah, jealous. So
glorious.
he's got the full long head hair. Yeah, looks great on him. But yeah, but the dude has had that unique look, of course, with the beard and
Sure.
this So yeah, there
I
you
think
have
when
it.
it comes to him, you can count the beard with the hair. That's the whole.
Yeah, it's like a whole mane of like around his head. Yeah.
And ironically, excuse me, for Jeff Bridges, I thought you talk about bald head. It almost went with this as on my list as well. But the Jeff Bridges, his look in Iron Man when he
Right.
played the villain, the completely bald head and just a full, perfectly shaved, longer beard. That look on him there was fantastic. If
That's a
I
man that
lose
can
my
pull off
hair,
anything.
that's what I'm going with, huh?
That's a man that can pull off anything.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely, absolutely. All right, Dean.
All right. In 1950, there was a movie with James Stewart called Harvey. And Harvey is next on the list because Harvey was a gigantic invisible rabbit that only James Stewart could see. And it was a great movie, great concept. So he's a hare.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Are we not accepting this one? Hare? Okay, fine.
Is my audio working, gentlemen? Yeah.
Survey says,
Unfortunately, your mic is working. Okay, fine. Next on my list is TV series, and this is important to clarify, TV series Loki. Tom Hiddleston in Loki, the TV series, not the movies. Movies, it's longer, screenier. The TV series in those 2 seasons, that was a magnificent fucking hair. Like, just immaculate. Like the way, how long it was, and just it was, all of it was terrific.
You know what I appreciate? About Tom Hiddleston.
Have that. Like that would be what I would have, like a magician.
Yeah. I appreciate that. Like he is. It's because I've actually thought about this as someone who envies good hair. He does not have a good hairline.
No,
his hairline is not great. It's
exactly.
not, but it somehow works with his face. And like it's I don't know if it's the body of it or whatever. Like somehow it works, but when you really look at him, like he doesn't have a good hairline. It's not.
He has the same hairline as I do.
Typically, somebody like that would not have long hair, but it's
Right.
thick enough to where like it. I don't know what it is. It
where I
just works
fail.
on him. Yeah, it works on him.
Yeah.
But
So-
yeah, I appreciate that.
So yeah, my number 4 is Harvey the Rabbit. Brian.
Okay.
It's my turn, actually.
It's Nick.
thank
Yeah.
you.
Mhm.
It is.
I just wanted to hear Brian groan again.
All right, here we go.
Thing.
I'm going back to Star Wars on this one. I'm going with Chewbacca, the guy with the
Of
most hair.
course.
Chewbacca.
Absolutely.
You know what? And you know
Yep.
why he makes my list? It's not so. I mean, he's a Wookiee. They're all hairy, right? Anybody, it's not great hair. In all
Disaster, isn't it?
things I have ever seen of Chewbacca, he has, other than in Solo, where he's like kept in shackles, it's never matted. It's
Nope.
always perfectly combed and in place, no matter what corridors he's been running down or what stormtroopers he's been firing at or who's he's been ripping apart. His hair is always well placed, and I really appreciate that because that's a lot of fucking hair to manage.
Yeah.
Boys, that's a lot.
And he's immaculate.
Mhm.
Yeah, every time. It's impressive. It's like almost like when you don't see him on screen, he surely must be combing his body hair always.
How much Wookiee ass do you think he gets?
Oh, all the Wookiee ass.
Oh.
Now, other question is, do you think he goes out species? Right? I mean, Maz Kanata made reference that she'd like to get a little swipe at it.
It just depends on how cool he is with fighting through hair to get to the goods.
Mm.
Well, that's the second question. Do we have a Harry Chewy bit, or is it like a red rocket, like a dog?
I feel like it's got hair on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you think it just kind
At
of
least
goes
at the
in
base.
matted and smooth
At
and
least
then
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, it gets gunked up a little bit in the action.
Yeah.
We're getting off track. Anyway, Chewbacca.
No, actually, I
Great
want to
hair.
change the whole main topic to this.
Great
Yeah.
hair. Great
Yeah.
hair. Brian.
That's good. Yeah, I love to see Nick in the original Star Wars where they're, and C-3PO and R2 are playing chess with Chewbacca.
Yeah.
And C-3PO says, new strategy. Let the Wookiee, and he just slicks the hair back.
Yep.
Yeah, very good.
And you'll notice under the arms and everything, no matted hairs. Everything's
Nope.
perfectly combed all the way around.
Beautiful.
Yep.
What a specimen.
Well, Dean, I had the Fonz on my list as well.
Sure.
So I'm going to replace the Fonz with one of the most iconic, going back in classic Universal monster movies, one of the most recognizable and iconic hairstyle in the movies that you're ever going to see, Elsa Lanchester, who played the Bride of Frankenstein.
Oh, sure. Yeah, it's a good one.
You know the hairstyle by, if you see the again, it's another one. You see the hairstyle, you know exactly what it is. It was a one of a kind with a very tall hair with like the white streaks going through it. They still make wigs and everything to this day.
Right.
All a lady has to do is put that wig on and a white robe of some sort, and you know exactly who she's supposed to be.
Yep.
Boom.
So there you go. Bride of Frankenstein.
Very good.
All right. Last on my list. When I started with the Fonz, that was like that to be the icon of hair. But if you're going to go generational, this will move into the next generation of iconic hair. And when you hear the name, you'll understand why. Because, well, have mercy.
Oh, yeah.
Uncle Jesse, John Stamos.
Oh, sure.
From Full House.
Yeah.
And you know what? And I'm not even talking about early Full House. I'm actually just going to go John Stamos as a character in our own lives. His hair now, at like in his 50s, Jesus, it's just incredible. But yeah, even from early Full House, throughout the series it changed and stuff, but like it changed with the times. Like it stayed, early Full House, it was cool for whatever late 80s that was. And then as
Sure.
the time progressed, it
The
got
mullet.
cool with the times, got out of even the
Right.
mullet and then put the pomade or whatever in there, and, the Elvis whole situation, which, what an honorable mention. I don't hope one of you at least finishes off with Elvis, but yeah, Uncle Jesse, Full House.
Well, Elvis isn't a character.
Was he? I mean,
Yeah, John Stamos also made the Mullet Hall of Fame.
right.
No
Yeah,
question about it. The
absolutely.
Mullet Mount Rushmore.
Have
Absolutely.
we done
Yeah.
that?
No, we've not done the specific
Yep.
mullet
We'll put
Mount
that on the
Rushmore.
list.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can have some fun with that one.
Yeah,
I'll
for
reuse
sure.
the Hansons for that for sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Any honorable mentions?
I'm not done.
Oh,
Thank
you have
you.
one more, Nick. I'm so sorry. Please.
Thank you very much. And
I was
also, I
impressed.
feel like
Brian's luscious hair was in front of his ears, so he couldn't hear quite where
Yes.
we were at.
Yes, that's right.
for my
Sorry,
last
Nick.
submission, this is kind of piggybacking off of your Farrah Fawcett pick, and I feel like you may have alluded to this. That's who I was thinking when you said generational.
Mhm.
Rachel Green from Friends, obviously.
That's what I thought it was, obviously.
It was so much to where like people the Rachel cut was such a big
Mhm.
deal,
Yep.
and that her hair was so iconic for people in the 90s. So certainly Jennifer Aniston as Rachel Green. There again, through the show, changed with the times, much
That's
like
right.
John Stamos' Uncle Jesse,
Mhm.
changed with the times, was always current with things, but certainly the hairstyle that she had in the 90s inspired so many young women to want that hairstyle. And like you said with Farrah Fawcett, Brian, like Jennifer Aniston could have wore just about anything on her head and it would have looked good on her. But certainly that worked well with her, and so that would be my last pick, my fifth and final.
That's a perfect
Very good.
pick, actually.
Yeah.
Very good. Excellent.
Some people call me to say that I have, hair of an icon, that guys and kids are going out and getting their hair cut like me.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're shaving it way back up here and then kind of doing a flesh-colored yarmulke in the back situation going on.
Give me the Caesar. Oh, you mean the Dean? Yeah, give me that.
Very specific. It takes a lot of time and effort to do it, but once you do it, I can. You can't. You can't get away from the ladies. They're on you like magic. And
Sure.
dudes and ladies, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They're on you.
Yep. Of course.
It's a good place to rest the ball sack while they give you the gonzo, am I right?
Well, of course. Why do you think I have it?
All right.
Honorable mentions?
Yeah. Honorable mentions, Dean.
It was
All right, I have honorable. I'll go, and then we'll.
Nick,
get
you
to
go
Dean.
ahead, please.
I'm gonna go one iconic hairstyle, and the hair itself is not as iconic. That's why they didn't make my list without the accessory. So I have Jay from Jay and Silent Bob. Without the toque, though, it's not the long straight hair is not necessarily that recognizable of a hairstyle on its own. But I feel like if you have the toque on top with the long straight hair, it's immediately Jay from Jay and Silent Bob. And my last honorable mention only didn't make my list because they were not a character. But I would be remiss if I did not call out Conan O'Brien right now for his fucking hair.
Oh man,
Conan O'Brien's hair is literally fucking only Conan O'Brien's hair.
Yeah.
And no one else has it, and no one could even. It's
no.
The swoop, the arch in it is insane. So top shelf Conan O'Brien.
Yeah.
So that's it for me.
Good one, Dean.
All right, honorable mentions. Steve Harrington from Stranger Things.
Okay. Yeah.
Joe Keery as the actor. Kind of also the '80s pompadour situation. I had Princess Di. Audrey Hepburn.
Princess Di.
Leia. Princess Leia. Well, Princess Di's hair was also iconic, so
real person. Go ahead.
Pretty good.
Did you see the TV show Crown? She was a character in it.
Now I get it.
Aubrey. No, I fucked up. It's not real. Aubrey Hepburn at Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Yes.
Sure,
Mariah
yeah.
Carey. Spacek from Princess Bride. Anybody? Anybody?
Never seen.
Andre the Giant.
Yeah.
Princess Bride. Beautiful. And then finally, last of my honorable mentions, which honestly, any of these could have been put on my list, especially this one, Jules from Pulp Fiction.
Very
Samuel
good.
L. Jackson.
Yes.
Sure.
Lovely and beautiful Samuel
good.
L. Jackson.
And has fit that character perfectly.
Perfectly.
Almost like a
Yeah.
couple too, like with Travolta's character. Like
Yep.
those hairstyles, I mean,
Together.
are kind of
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
All right. My honorable mentions, Dean, I had Jules Winfield, also Samuel Jackson. John Rambo, Sylvester
sure.
Stallone from Rambo: First Blood. This is when he had the long hair with the bandana thing he had going on there.
Headband, yeah.
Headband. I said bandana. Headband.
It was a bandana, but it was rolled into a headband. So both.
That's
are
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also had Rachel Green, Nick. Also Leia Organa, Nick, Star Wars New Hope. Chewbacca I also had. And I'm going to give you from the Inhumans. This is from the world of comics, Medusa. Now, not the snake one, but this is from the Inhumans. Medusa is the mutant who has the living hair. She controls her hair. It's very long, and
Snakes.
not snakes. This is actual hair, not the Medusa from Greek mythology. This is the Inhuman called Medusa who controls her hair. That's part of her
Medusa
power.
Johnson. She lived down the street.
Yes.
4th Street, right in the corner there.
Sure. Yes. Right.
Yep. Oregon Avenue.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. It was a living hair. Now it might have been crabs. The one that's on Oregon Avenue, but that's a whole other episode. We'll talk about that. Anyways, yeah.
Forgot about that.
Yeah. Anyways,
It's
that's what I got.
I shaved it.
Mm-hmm.
What's up? I'm sorry. Yeah, I think we've done our list. So I think we've done them beautifully.
You got it
perfectly.
That's right. That's right. Well, like a long, flowing hairstyle.
That's right.
There is at the end. There's a little bit of maybe split ends, a little bit of fraying and that type of thing. So, but not the end of this episode though. This episode, the end is typically very healthy, and I'm trying to figure out a way to throw it to Nick to take us out.
Brian, we're the pomade of the podcast world.
Yes.
And Nick is the comb that's going to finish us off with beauty and grace. Take it away, Nick.
That's right. Well, if you're talking about beauty and grace, there's no way for you to look more beautiful and graceful than on your own electric bike. And an electric bike
let your hair flow.
Would come from none other than RPM Bike Shop, our friends in Carrollton, Ohio. All you got to do is call them at 330-808-7792 or type into Facebook RPM Bike Shop. You can see the amazing, glorious products that they have to offer you. You might be able to envision yourself on one of their electric bikes, hair flowing in the wind. You can also see that information and so much more on their website, which is rpmbikeshop.com. So feel free to let your hair down, indulge yourself, and get yourself an electric bike. Nay. Treat yourself to an electric bike today from RPM Bike Shop. That's
excellent. Right. Carrollton, Ohio is birthplace of the tub shroom.
Yeah, so anyway, this has been Convincing Idiots, episode 210.
Normally it's me throwing the bucket breaks and bringing the show to the whole. That's fantastic.
Yeah, so anyway, if you want more of this type of stuff, find us on all our social media accounts. You can do that by Googling Convincing Idiots Linktree. LINKTREE, and there you'll be able to follow links to all of our social media accounts in which that you use and you'd like to follow us, like, subscribe, rate, review, whatever your heart's desires. You can also go over our website, which is convincingidiots.wordpress.com. So for this episode of Convincing Idiots, I am Millennial Nick.
I am the beautifully coiffed Zennial Dean.
Gen X Brian.
Have we convinced you to join us for another week and comb through some of pop culture's biggest topics next week?
You.
Me.
You.
Me. Yeah.
Did you just see that shit? If you liked what you saw, like and subscribe. Come back. You're going to want to.